get crowdfunding equity to get started and warm up. We need to warm up the reward base, to see more potential and enroll more of the community and every one of you here to start participating in crowdfunding. Then there's a chance where equity crowdfunding could be even stronger because of a proven track record. So, to also populate crowdfunding, my stand is, if it takes time to do it, what can it be for me to support the industry by developing what we call SaaS models? And I believe in the room here, there are many platform providers that are also participating here in this whole conversation. So as we witness the development of crowdfunding, Thailand, thumbs up. You guys took the lead. And I hope, this lead is not gonna stay there, but this lead gonna manifest because of all of you here. And this whole second major summit that promotes the good use of crowdfunding in social innovation and works towards the leadership vision of digital economy, I very much would like to thank all of you who are seated here, or some of them who couldn't make it here, but maybe later on review the video, to support this crowdfunding, not because of a show, but because you see it as relevant and you see it as meaningful. And of course, one very important thing that I must do today is I must thank my dearest friend, Dr. Gandhi, for giving me this whole opportunity to stand up on stage here to share with you all, my views about crowdfunding and to carry on this whole journey in terms of crowdfunding. And other than her, the dedicated team that she has, wonderful team that she has, they are just so passionate. They kept me on my toes, particularly, especially Martin. Don't know whether if he's here. So, Kun In as well, and a whole lot more. And of course, my team, and every of the working crew here that made this possible. And, these 2 days of learning and sharing should give us not only great hope, but the will to shape Thailand crowdfunding. It's not only I say, every one of you have to align. So, and the very key thing that is really close to my heart is that, the social consciousness and conscience, that when we touch our heart, we know, with all the effort that we put in, we're gonna inch towards success every single day, every moment. And funding is not going to be a showstopper if you dare to live your dream, for startups, for businesses, all right? Or even for education. And leveraging on all the wisdom of today's people's present, leveraging on all the intelligence and experience, we can build a greater Thailand. And I, Hong Sin, just wanted to say ขอบคุณมากค่ะ and ดิฉันรักมากประเทศไทยนะคะ
Thank you very much. Thank you. So before moving on to the next speakers, there are 3 ways of having fun here at asean. So you can raise your hands and ask any question that you may have, or you can send message to our line ID that show on the screen over there, Ask Me asean, and you can write your question on post-it and that stick on the board outside, and I will collect them and I will ask instead of you then. So now I would like to welcome the most wonderful, gorgeous, young-looking and smart. She's the smartest at asean, and who created a fundamental, significant activities that uplift young entrepreneurs, businessmen, and the new generation to overcome the challenges and seize the opportunities. Her ultimate goal is to see ASEAN as a collaborative platform among startups and future generations across ASEAN to support the regional development through various connectivity initiatives. ASEAN is dynamic, vibrant, and creative. We think outside of the box and we act uniquely. So please welcome Dr. Gandhi Realpilo, Managing Director of asean, and she will be discussing on 100-second facts about crowdfunding. Please welcome Dr. Gandhi. Unfortunately, she has 8 kids already. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much and welcome to asean. And the song was selected for business development. We have for every so we'll try to surprise you. Am I going okay? Yep, okay. Thank you once again for taking time visiting us at asean, and we're very proud and very passionate about conducting this event. Once again, it's not just an event, it's activities, it is our passion that we would like to go along. asean work by the mission of collaborate for the better. So what we do, we stress on collaboration for the better of ASEAN's connectivity. And this is one of the grand examples that we work together with our friends from Singapore, where she learned to speak Thai. I can't speak any other languages, I'm so sorry. You know all about crowdfunding. This is an alternative way to do a whole lot of good stuff. And also, I used to teach in university, and I keep saying my students and my mentee that mentoring them. When you want to get the point across, try to be precise, work on times. I actually abused myself with 90 seconds pitch. Now I'm gonna put pressure on me. I'm gonna tell you about 100-second facts of crowdfunding. And I do have only 100 seconds. Are you with me? Yes. All right, let's roll. This is very exciting. You know what, I had the script this morning. I never need the script. I had to work the script this morning, but now let's roll. The time bomb. We need to keep track on the time. First of all, before we get to that, I would like to thank our supporter, Hong Sin, of course, and her crews, and our supporter, TSAP, SIPA, of Thailand, P for the grand of friends supporting in the media part. I thought it was going to be the pop stars. All right, here we go. Why don't we do this? If the screen ready, we're going to go by 100-second facts, and the slides are ready. So time me if I can do it. If I can't make it, well, just leave it there. The 100-second facts about crowdfunding. This is what we gather. In a nutshell, crowdfunding is essentially the alternative way to raise the fund from the crowd. Did you know actually the Statue of Liberty was crowdfunded, dated back in 1884, when they got a gift from France, but American doesn't have money to put it up, so they need it. Thai people have known the crowdfunding for such a long time. We believe that more donation is more mileage for us to go to heaven. So this is what we know the crowdfunding. 4 types of crowdfunding has been an issue for quite a long time. Look at the timeline just about a few years back, 2008. The main crowdfunding platforms such as Kickstarters, Indiegogo just started up. But the value out of last year was so huge as 4 times larger than investment in Al Suvarnabhumi Airport, including corruptions along the way. Growth rate is dramatic. If you see the success rate, the most successful projects gather around dances, theater, and music, but the higher value are for games and technology. We have silly idea was successful, a good idea failed, but in general, we have higher rate of failure through crowdfunding platform than a success case. But what we're going to do with that? That's not a problem. But the deal that we'd like to discuss here today is about fraud and risk. 3 parties in crowdfunding platform needs to take part and take a role. What we need to bump up is to build the circle of trust, the network of transparency in this system. That's how it works. The good stuff, in India, a bridge was crowdfunded by the villagers. There was an attempt for the Greek bailout funding, but it didn't work. Anyhow, for a Thai crowdfunding platform, we have pioneers all in this room, and you're going to hear more from them. I hope that they can grow, and SEC take a really lead role, put up the guideline and regulations. And now statistics said the new business is more open to crowdfunding than traditional business, and that is the 100-second fact that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your amazing 100-second facts from crowdfundings. So moving on to the next significant speaker. She has a profound knowledge and strong expertise in the financial industry and capital market. During 30 years of career, her work has covered practically all sectors of financial industry. She has been in Stock Exchange of Thailand and she has been in Stock Exchange for 11 years and in charge of several departments, including marketing, derivatives, and market development. Her significant achievement involve several initiatives such as setting up Thailand Future Exchange PCL or TFEX, Thailand's only financial derivatives exchange, covering both futures and options of equities, fixed income instruments, foreign exchange rates, and non-agricultural commodities. Please give a round of applause to Mrs. Kesara Manchusi, the President of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, who will be introducing Enhance the Financial Competency for the next generation.
It's very difficult after the two ladies, the two young ladies already says about the crowdfunding. And if you notice that those two ladies look young and very lively with their dress. For myself, it might be saying that this is a classical model for the traditional model. But what I like to say for my session, it may not be 100 seconds. Let me, for the classical one, should have more times. So I would like to have just only the 5 pages of the presentation. What I like to say would be what the exchange, the Stock Exchange of Thailand and MAI has been doing, and what things that we like to support all the crowdfunding, even the VC and the PE. And I think this one, I'm totally agree that it would be a new world for the fundraising to a small entrepreneur and a startup business, and which is very important for the countries to go to this way. And as Dr. Gandhi already said, I think the Security Exchange Commission of Thailand has been very innovative and already proactive in issuing the crowdfunding regulation already. Okay, let me go through the first slides. And oh, sorry, is here? Is it? It doesn't go for the first slide. This one? Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought that is over there. For the tradition, I had to wear some glasses. So, the first one is what we has been doing for the Stock Exchange of Thailand. We are 40 years old, and this year is 41 years old. So we come to the 5th decade of operation. What we seeing that the market capitalization is now is about like 407 billion US dollar, which is comprised of the stock about 500 stocks, 500 company on the exchange, and we also have the property funds, the REIT and the infrastructure funds. But for the MAI, which is a small stocks, which is very high growth stocks, we got about 115 companies listed on the MAI. And the market capitalization is about 1.1 billion US dollar. Total would be about like 410 billion US dollars on our platforms. But if you look back just only 5 years back, we will see that a lot of new companies that come on board. Like for the SET, we have about 51 new company list on the exchange, and we have about 30 all the new like property funds, infrastructure funds list on the exchange. Total of the IPO would be about 27 billion US dollar. But the MAI, which is very noticeable that for the past 5 years, we got about 56 new company lists on the exchange. And the exchange is like 16 years old. Actually, the MAI would be a kind of teenagers. But the SET 41-year-old is a grown-up, already grown up. So for the MAI, is like for the past 5 years, we got about 56 company lists on the exchange, and the market cap about almost 700 million US dollar. And for the total MAI, we got about 115 company. So and the MAI age is about 16 years old. So it means that half of the new listing come on board during the past 5 years. And what we are seeing that for this trend and this momentum of the SME in Thailand become a listed company, we are seeing that this trend still be go on. And I believe that as we are doing more towards about the expansion of the business, and we got the new generation of management on the SME company, because of all the like family business, the father and the mother already getting old, and they just give the business to their younger generation. That's why we see that the trend of doing the business and operating the business as a more professional and like to expand, I think, and also that the opportunity to expand in neighboring country, what we call like CLMV, which is a kind of a subset of the ASEAN. And I believe that when you see figure of the growth in our neighboring country like Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and even Vietnam, they are growing more than 6% a year. But if you go the whole ASEAN, right now it's less than 5%. So what we're seeing that the SME business in Thailand keep expanding to our neighboring country. That's why they need a lot of funding, and they need a lot of professionalism in managing their companies. That's why what we are seeing that for listing on the MAIs and on the SET still be in a good sign. So the next one is this one. I think you have been seeing a lot of things, and what I like to highlight on this slide is for the funding of the business. Mostly this is traditional. Mostly, firstly, would come from the bank lendings, and if they are growing enough and they are bigger size, they would go to the equities and the bonds. And we put it in 3 category of funding. And right now, the equity is become about 120% of the GDP. And for the bonds, this include the government bonds. Bonds and banking sector is about 80% of the GDP, which is, I believe that from the equity point of view, in the development, in the developed countries of the capital markets, we would see that the equity would grow more than 100% of the GDP. And some of the country is like up to like 200%, and it's growing faster than the traditional one, which is the banking business. And this one, for this, what we observe that I think I'm totally agree with Dr. Kandi that all the new kinds of the channel for the fundraising to the crowdfunding or even the VC or the PE has been growing up because of all the technology has been giving the opportunity for people to raise their fund. For this one is an example that the Kickstarter statistic, we will see that the first slide that the total dollars that they are raising is about 1.82 billion US dollar. But for the launch and the successful of the launch, the successful of the launch is about 88 million US dollar compared to the launch project is 242 million US dollar, which is the success rate, it would be about 37%, which is very similar to what Dr. Gandhi already present about the success rate. And what another statistics on the World Bank Commission is, on the World Bank Commission is the global crowdfunding market potential could be up to 90 billion US dollar by the year 2025, which is what we're seeing that this is a high growth of the crowdfunding market. And on the equity crowdfunding within the scope that I already said that the SEC already have the regulation in place. That's why what we thought that for the Thai market we could see more and more of this channel of the funding. Before the last page, I think this one is just this is typical for the exchange. What we are doing is we are quite cautious in everything. So what we're seeing that we have the companies who like to get the fund, or even we call the startup. And another side would be on the investor. But normally, if we couldn't find kind of the matching we may call the intermediaries, or it might be a platform, it might be other vehicle that how to get the investor to match with the companies or with the startup company who like to get the funds. But the important thing is for the crowdfundings, I believe that this is a new thing for the Thai market. How could we know and how could the investor firstly would know where to put the money to? Secondly is how could they know that that company or that startup business is the information, do they good enough for them to put the money in? This is, I think, all the qualities of the startup business. So the investor have to know and have the right to know that what kind of things that they invest into it. And what we like to see that how could we give this kind of facilitate, this kind of information to both that all kinds of demands and all kinds of the quality of those demands. So that's why I come to the last part, that what the exchange and the exchange is mean that SET and MAI has been doing for, I think what we has been doing, we has been helping all the, so what we can see that from the startup, the seeding that we have the crowdfunding, we have the angel investor. And if they go to the another stage, we call VC or PE, or even go through the SME, and at the final stage for this part is they go listing on the MAI, or even they don't want to list, they can just the management can buy back or do M&A with others companies. But along the way, before that they become listed, what the MAI, actually MAI has been doing these kind of things, is what we do is we do the training programs to all the growth company and the potential enterprise. We do all kinds of networking events, and actually the asean here is one of the places that all kinds of networking that we have been cooperate with asean to do things. We also have the angel investor to meet the new ventures. And for the matching of the opportunities, every year we arrange a kind of Innobis matching days to have the new ventures to show their case that what do they have and what kind of things that they like to show. This year we already have it in the 1st of July, and next year we are going to have it on the 1st of July every year. And this year we got about 10 new ventures, which comprise of the social enterprise, 3 of them, 1 biotech company and 6 technology startup companies. And we match with the investor entrepreneurs, the governments and the private supportive agencies, both the incubator and the university professors. And I hope that next year we are going to have more and more of the new ventures company. And another one that we are planning and we hope that we could be a big supporter for the platform because we believe that connectivity is the key success for the ecosystem of the ventures support. So we are very open to talk with all the platform and all the portal of the crowdfunding or the JV. And we like to support these facilities because this facility would give an opportunity to both sides, the investor side and also that the entrepreneur side too. And last but not least, I would like to thank Dr. Gandhi and Ms. Hong Sims about to arranging this event. And on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, I strongly believe that in cooperation together, One Crowd can change the landscape for a better world and enhance the financial competencies for our next generation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Kessel. Okay, thank you very much for your address. But before you leave the stage, may I ask her to be here again, please? In case of any questions regarding this, so you can raise your hand.
Yes, please.
Yes. And now we've got some questions from our live chat. And then, the question is, what is your suggestion for an SMEs to benefit from crowdfunding with the end goal of MAI?
For the MAI is, I think, for the SME that that are listed on the MAI, that they have to have a kind of sizable. That had a sizable before listing on the exchange, and also that they have to have a kind of what we call is quality, because of to sales to the public. It means that you have to have kind of the auditors who already pass the SEC qualification. So what we see that from the first startup business, we are very open for listing on the MAI, but it has to be depends on that business, that how could they grow up to satisfy the condition to be listed on the MAI. I think firstly